like admire the background.
You see me?
Hell yeah,
Can you
son.
hear-
Look at the. Wait, hold on. Move to your right. Move to your right.
You gotta do
All
that.
right. Left. Move to your left. Other direction.
Yeah, I can hear you. But look at the military,
moving.
bro.
Yeah. You see those? Damn, those things.
Damn, bro, what shoes are those? Those are really nice shoes.
I don't know, bro.
I wonder where you get those, bro.
What are those shoes? Yo, I got the Lakers. I got the Lakers
Oh, we're
championship.
just pulling out our fours now?
Yo, Riley, I ever told you my story about those?
We just pulling out our fours now?
Yeah, bro, I got one thing to say to y'all.
Fuck the police coming straight from the underground. A young nigga got it bad cause I'm brown.
Yo.
All right, you ready to get into it?
Wait. Hold on, I gotta get my facts.
What? This man got a fact sheet,
You gotta get
bro.
my facts. You got a facts check.
No, he...
Not an Glass podcast, bitch.
Welcome back, guys. It's the Glass Podcast. I was waiting for it. I see someone had set me up. Yo, right now we through Zoom. So if this looks a little bit weird, this looks a little bit flustered, yo, just trust me. We through Zoom right now. We working. We doing our shit. As always, we got Steffon, we got Rennie, we got me in the building. You already know us. But today we have our first guest ever on this podcast. We're at like 5 episodes in or some shit now, right?
This is our 5th episode right here.
This is our 5th episode, exactly. So today we decided to bring on a guest. It's a special episode. Everybody, welcome Riley White. Let's give him a nice round of applause. You already know.
Welcome, Mr.
What to do,
White.
y'all. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure being on. Shout out to these cats, bro. We've been friends for a while. So I appreciate y'all having me on. Shout out to y'all.
Hey, O'Reilly, bro. Like, before we get into anything, bro, what's going on? Where you at? Like, give me a rundown.
Thanks. Let's
Sean.
check out this background real quick. This shit is wild. Look at all these hats that are fucking up the top here.
Where are we,
shit's
bro?
crazy.
Where am I?
We are in what's something I like to call Keep It Classic. It is my new store. I mean, this is not a physical location that is open to the public, but it is an online store. It's called Keep It Classic, and it's where I'll be selling all my sneakers and vintage clothing from here on out. This is this is like 75% of my vintage inventory. Got it all up looking nice. I'll be taking FaceTime appointments here soon. So this is Keep It Classic. It's my brainchild for the past 3 months. I'm super fucking proud of this. I've just been buying hella stuff. It's a curated collection of just cool shit that I like. So
Yes, sir. You will be a satisfied customer.
So let me
paying us for that little,
I got a question though. Are we like the first official people to know this? Like, what's going on? This is the thing that you were saying. Because like, let me give you a little bit of background. Yo, Riley's got the biggest. He was on Quick Conversation. Still's got the most viewed Quick Conversation out of all of it out of season 1. He showed up on there and he said, yo, I got big things coming. Just stay tuned. Is this that stay tuned? Is that like a little bit of preface, or is this just a little bit of salt on top of the whole, like 4-course meal we haven't seen yet? This is like the green beans. This is like the green beans. This is like the green beans. This was the keep it. This was the, when I was saying that, stay tuned. This is definitely what I was talking about. But there is more things to come with this. This is literally just the beginning of my big brainchild. But, small steps in a bigger picture. I'm hella excited.
100%. It's lit.
All right, guys. So I fucking hate you, son. All right, really quick. So Rennie's got a topic that he wanted to bring in. We were talking about earlier. So bring that shit in, bro.
All right, boom. So something that I wanted to talk about that I found really interesting was, now I know that, everyone here is like, into sneakers, relatively into sneakers, some more than others, right? And recently, Riley could, correct me on some of the facts here that I'm about to say. Yesterday or over the past couple of days, I believe that the regional manager, the head or something for North American
vice president.
The vice president, yes. The vice president for Nike was forced to resign from her position there because there were some alleged links to reselling. And I know how, some of you feel about reselling, particularly.
Steffon. Wow, damn, that was unfortunate. Sorry.
The pain right there, I could tell where that shit was going. And I know that, Riley, you are a reseller. So what's your take on that?
First of all, Stefan, I heard what you said about resellers on the last podcast. Not gonna lie, it hurt me a little
Put
bit.
the camera in front of
I pull it has to go on the thing.
Don't try to hide your face, bro.
Hey, I got no
same.
remorse for what I said.
I don't care, bro. Not in like that way. I was like, that sounds hella like disrespectful. But it's like I'm not hurt. People have their feelings towards resellers, and people are allowed to feel how they feel. Opinions are like assholes. We all have them, and they all stink. So
It's
you're allowed to have
you though, because you don't make a living selling your soul and raping people on prices, bro.
You don't know that?
Yeah. No, I don't.
Riley gives fair prices, bro.
Hey, I try my best to give fair prices. I do charge over market sometimes. I'm not gonna lie, but that's some stuff I'm really not trying to sell. And if someone wants to buy it from me now, you're gonna have to pay what I want for it. But that's really besides the point. You're free to have your opinion, bro, and you'd be surprised how many people actually agree with you. I kind of talk with people about the ins and outs of reselling a lot, and a lot of people don't like resellers, and that's a conversation for another day. The conversation we're having here, though, about this West Coast streetwear kid he's an idiot. So his mom is the vice president of Nike, and she's been working there for 25 years, and he's only 19. And he started selling Supreme in like 2016 or something, saw how much money there was to be made by it, and then started flipping sneakers. And there's all types of holes in his story. And there's like, basically he went to college. He dropped out of college and then chased a lead where he found a guy who had 4 Air Mags just chilling in a storage unit. Like it seems suspect, and there's like some suspect parts of the story, and I'm not here to determine whether or not he was being truthful or lying. Is my unit number showing in this video?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You might have to crop that one out. I just realized.
Don't worry, I'll take care of all that. And
got it.
It's my unit number showing in the video.
I should have checked that beforehand.
You're good.
So
I'll rob you.
He has some like interesting things in his story. Yeah, right. Fucking
everybody. Riley's address is blank, and the state of Alabama.
You know where to
this
find
unit number.
shit.
This is the picture of
Alaska.
the key, so you can copy it. You know,
If you're ever in Alaska, go check out Riley's storage unit
out of Alaska and Maine.
Out of Alaska. And Maine. Oh shit, you got the one in Maine now? That's crazy. See, Keep It Classic's already moving. It's already taking momentum. All right, keep going.
Global. We're going global with this bitch.
You already know.
What was I saying? Oh yeah, so not Keep It Classic. The fuck am I talking about?
West Coast Streetwear.
West Coast Streetwear. He becomes like a big time reseller, and when I say big time, this man's got warehouses. He's hitting 1,000 clips on these releases. When I say that, I mean he's getting 1,000 pairs of sneakers on release day, right? And he's posting these big pictures, and people talk shit about these pictures all the time. And I kind of feel weirdly about these pictures because getting a lot of pairs like that is not easy, right? People like talk about shit. Oh, you're using a bot. You're doing this. Da, da, da. Bots are not easy to run. There is a difficulty to this. However, it's not as difficult as other ways to get them, but let's not act like it's completely easy. Now, is it easier than other ways? Absolutely. So I can empathize with the fact where you hit 1,000 pairs of sneakers, you want to take a picture with that, bro. Like you want to like, hey, look at this hard work that I put in, and this is how it's paying off. However, when your mom is a vice president of Nike, maybe that's not a good idea. And on top of that, you would think. So that's fine because he blurred out his face, and people just knew him as West Coast Joe, anonymous figure. He does videos with other people. He's anonymous. He did a few videos with like I think some other YouTuber or whatever, but he kept his identity a secret. Then he goes, you know what? Let me just do an article with Bloomberg because that's a great fucking idea. And in the article, his name is revealed in the first line. You can look it up. Bloomberg. It was released 5 days ago from now. So the podcast released on Thursday. It'll be a week ago, right? A week ago. His name is in the first line. You look at his last name and you go, huh, let me backtrace. Who is this kid? Oh, his mom is the vice president of Nike. Well, maybe that's a problem. Maybe, just maybe that might be a problem. I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about though. So this kid, like an idiot, he snitches on himself. And I made a little video on my Instagram story because this kid is not the only one doing it. Like, if you have been in the sneaker game long enough, you understand that there is probably 10 to 25 guys that do that every release. They're out there. They're out there. And a lot of these people share pairs, and there's all types of shady shit that goes on the sneaker game because the shady game is sneakers. The sneaker game is shady as fuck now.
Yeah,
but,
you got it. There's the kid.
I just look it up.
But those people, there's hella people that do that. There's hella people that do that, but you have no idea who they are. You
Sure.
Like the normal person will have no idea who they are. I don't even know all of them. I know a few people, right? But I know them by their aliases, and they're only active to buyers. Like, they're not posting these pictures in front of the things. They just have 1,000 pairs. They just like have them, and they're like, and they'll hit you up and be like, I heard you were buying, like, how many are you trying to buy? Oh, you want to buy 100 pairs? I got it, right? But you'll never see a picture with them in front of these sneakers. You'll never know their name. You'll never know who they are. They're smart about it. Look, in order to get that many pairs, you have to do shady shit. There's very, very few ways to get around doing some shady shit to get that amount of pairs, unless you're paying up on a lot of them or stuff like that. Like, there was a video of Request Boutique who had a shit ton of off-white Air Force, off-white Jordan 5s, and people were talking hella shit about them. Blah, 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 blah. Little do they know, that man paid resale for every single pair. He didn't get a single pair for resale. I know him. His name's Gabriel Salazar. I don't know him personally, but I know he's active on Facebook a lot.
Sure.
And I've sold him pairs before. He pays very well for sneakers because he owns a store, so he can mark it up. He paid resale for every single one of those pairs. So you have people like that. Again, so people who are hitting retail releases like this are not showing their face. It's just, I just talked for like 6 minutes straight, but they're not showing their face. If you're going to be shady about it, be smart. Like, it's not, I'm like telling y'all how to be shady. You just shouldn't be shady in the first place. But like, if you're going to be shady, just be smart about it. Don't show your face and your name and then your mom be the vice president of Nike.
Yeah.
Like, you were asking for it. Why would you do that?
Right.
Bro,
That's just my take.
Bro, real quick. Also, I read, right now, I don't know the validity of this. I just read it somewhere. For all I know, it could be complete cap. I read that he used a credit card that was in his mom's name to buy over $100,000 worth of sneakers for his company, for his business, West Coast Streetwear. Now,
because his mom's got money. His mom's got money, good credit, which means unlimited credit line. I can't get that as a 19-year-old, so I'm gonna use my mom's unlimited credit line.
He's gonna use that shit. But it's like you said, like, you gotta cover your tracks, you know. And in all honesty, nothing's really happening to him, right? He's probably still.
I like the fact. Wait. Sorry, Rennie, but I like the fact that you're like, yo. I mean, you got to be smarter than that. I mean, if you're gonna rob somebody, you know what I'm saying? Like, starts giving them advice.
If you're gonna kill somebody, make sure you hide the body too.
Hide the body. Make sure you bury it.
Burn it, whatever.
Bro,
wash your hands at least, bro. Get rid of the weapon, man.
Time out. Yo, bro, I'm not trying to like aiding and abetting shit, right? Like, think about it, right? You know,
is that
the only people
you must have quit?
The only people he's really hurting is his mom doing that, right? Now, I get it. He got to make his money or whatever. You got to make his buck. There's some things that you just should not do ethically, but he obviously don't care, so he did that shit, right? My thing is, if you're going to do it, you got to play. If you're going to play the game, you got to play smart. And part of playing smart comes in with not doing sloppy shit that's going to get you caught, like what you just said, going on fucking Bloomberg and whatnot and all that shit, because now he forced his mom to resign. And, like, you know, in the articles that I read, it said that she willingly stepped down, but, like, I know that's cap.
You about to get fired or you about to step down is what they
I know
say.
that's cap. You know that's cap. Like, she had to step down for fucking, like, just to, like, save face or some shit. Like, she had to. There's
no doubt.
There's no saving that. And in reality, nothing bad is really happening to him. Like, oh, like, sure, he loses his unlimited sneaker plug, but, like, it's not like he hasn't made potentially millions off that shit already. So he's stacked. And his mom's fucking, she's the only guy to circus. Now she's out of a job.
I mean, he said in June, in his Bloomberg article, first of all, this man gave way too much information. Like, he was like letting people look in his pockets. Like, he was like, yeah, bro, I moved to Oregon. This is the address of my warehouse with $2.4 million of their shoes in it. I mean, he wasn't saying all that, but he might as well have been. And he said, oh yeah, the pandemic has been great to me. I made $300,000 or $400,000 in June alone.
Jesus Christ.
Like, This man's talking profit. So you're making that, or I believe he was. I'm not 100% sure. Don't quote me on that. It's in the Bloomberg article though, and he just fucking. I can't with this kid. He literally like gave that it on a silver platter, and he was not thinking at all.
Self-snitching, yeah. It's like he got so much in his own head. He got so much in his own head, like, yo, I'm doing this shit. I'm finessing. Like, yeah, you are, but that's the point. You're finessing. That's why you should, keep it on the low. Anyway, you're right. I got a question for you now, right? So, like you said, stuff like that is very normal. Like, it happens, Like, yeah. I feel like I've never been oblivious to the fact that it happens because I feel like, after a while you see sneakers reselling for money, you see people getting rich off sneakers, Benjamin Kicks, so many other fucking people, and you think, yo, if I gotta connect, I'm gonna use that shit because I need money. Money is the greatest motivator. Motivates people to do anything. Motivate that kid to do that. Definitely motivate other people to do whatever.
I'd kill you for some money.
So, from you, Riley, bro, I didn't hear what you said, Steffon.
So are we gonna talk about that at all? So about how much? How much would it take? How much would it take?
To kill Rennie?
Would it take for Steffon to be a hitman?
to kill, I wouldn't kill Rennie, but because it's a little too close. Because like I said, I was telling Rennie this: if you kill one person close, you gotta kill at least 2 to 3 more to cover the tracks.
Huh? No.
Yes.
Yo, hold up. This man put some serious thought into this before
I feel like
podcast.
that's not,
before this moment, I was like, yeah, bro. If I was to kill Rennie, like I'd have to kill some other people too.
Wait, let's really break down these logistics though. If you kill more people that are close to you,
I can't speak on that.
If you kill like more people that are close to you, isn't that gonna make you like? Isn't that gonna make it like more obvious? Or are you saying just kill random amount of people?
Yeah, you kill Rennie, and then I'm just go out and kill 2 other people.
Got you. I kill people. I kill people outside in difference.
Yeah, but I kill Rennie. But I would kill Rennie. Nah, bro. I would kill somebody outside of the completely different. I'll kill somebody outside the jurisdiction. Right, bro, you gotta move jurisdictions. You can't have them cross lines because intercommunication, police work is very hard.
All right, bro. Can we stop talking about killing people now, bro? Before the CIA or whatever.
Yo, thank God I'm in Texas, son. I'm scared of this fool.
All right, back to my question.
You mean Alaska? Alaska.
This man's been watching too much Criminal Minds, bro.
I've watched it like 5 times already, 6 times in my lifetime. I only watch true crime documentaries, really.
Yo, Criminal Minds is a shit though. I can't even talk shit.
It is.
That show is yes.
Anyways,
what was back to you?
What were you saying, Rennie?
You're done plotting murder and all that shit, bro.
We can get back to it. We can get back to it another day.
That's reality. Okay, bet. Fuck. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah. When I was in Ashley Riley's, I saw a couple people talking about how that shit like negatively impacts the sneaker game and the resale world and this, that, and the third. Not because he got caught, but just like what he does and what others like him are doing. So, what's your opinion on that? Because I know that you're pretty deeply integrated into the sneaker game. You're in there.
Negatively. I mean,
in terms of
I'm gonna be honest.
It's like one particular argument I saw, right, was that like you said, these people are able to comp on thousands of pairs on release day, right? So they control a large amount of the market, which means that they can essentially control the market, control prices and shit, and set ridiculous out the ass prices for certain shit. I'm not into shit like that. I don't know. That's just something I saw and I was like, I wonder what Riley thinks about that.
Well, let me set it to you like this.
Go.
There is no way people are controlling the market. Like, that just doesn't happen. One, because that's not the society we live in. Like, no one, the only way to control the market would be to have every single pair, or like 95% of the pairs. Because you gotta think they're releasing like anywhere from like 30,000 pairs, or like a super limited release, like a trophy rooms, they're releasing 12,000 pairs, up to 1 million with the Concord 11s, right? I gotta get rid of this notification. So
there's a lot of shoes.
So you're not controlling the entire market, and we live in a society where I hate this. Just to break down this argument a little bit, I hate when people say, "Oh, resellers control the market," or like if it weren't for resellers, it wouldn't be such a markup. If it weren't for resellers, the markup would be bigger. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Because okay, the market price of a sneaker is determined by demand, not by supply. It's a supply and demand thing. Yeah. So resellers, the only thing resellers do is give you more supply. That's all we do. The only thing we're adding to the market is more supply, right? So as a consumer, right? So let's say only 100% consumers bought the pair of shoes, right? So let's say Concord 11's released and they released 10,000 of them. This is just a complete hypothetical. And 10,000 people who bought them wore them. You as Rennie, who didn't buy a pair and wanted a pair, is now shit out of luck because they're not making that sneaker again and you can never get that pair of sneakers again.
Wait, let me ask you a question though. You don't think that they'd start making more though? You know what I'm saying? And let me ask you, and this is the reason why I say why. You know, if they're selling
I'll answer
as much
that.
As they
go ahead. I just want to finish my point first.
Oh, my fault. I was just gonna say, if they're selling as much as they are, and they keep selling out and they're selling out really quick, you don't think they're gonna start making more pairs?
No. There's a reason they wouldn't, and they haven't done it for years. So I'll try to remember that point and get to it when I finish. So 10,000 pairs release, they all goes to consumers. No resellers, everyone gets them. Rennie now is not able to get the pairs. Now let's say half of them are bought by resellers, right? So in essence, they're almost providing you a value. People look at resellers now and like, oh, you guys are shitty because they blame us for the market price. It's our fault that the shoes are worth so much.
It is.
But imagine there was no market. Imagine there was no secondary market at all. And there was only one asshole who had pairs. He could charge you $10,000 a pair. Because way back in the day, if the shoe sold out and you didn't get on release day, you did not get that sneaker. You just didn't get it. So now I'm not trying to say like rah, like, oh yeah, we're providing you something, you should be grateful. That's not what I'm saying. Because there is hella asshole resellers out there. But the point I'm making here is we don't control the price. Because if, let's say, at me as a reseller, we provide the supply. Because without us, you have no chance of getting that sneaker again. There's literally no chance for you to get the sneaker. And the thing is, and how do I get my price? I determine it off what someone is willing to pay. That's why StockX is such a big thing, because it literally shows, okay, well, I have these pairs and I want this amount for it. And you want the pair and you're willing to pay this amount for it. Well, if no one's willing to pay $400 for the pair of shoes, I'm not selling it for $400. So people get mad at me for the markup when it's not my fucking fault. I'm just there taking advantage of it. And I'm not even taking advantage. I'm just visualizing an opportunity and being an opportunist, I guess. So people get mad at me all the time, and resellers, and like, oh, well, you're a scumbag for trying to sell this pair of sneakers for $1,000 when you bought it for $200. Well, if no one was paying $1,000, I wouldn't sell it for $1,000. So why are you getting mad at me for capitalizing on that opportunity?
Definitely. You know,
that's just my way to look at it.
It's really interesting you bring that up because, I was thinking about this for a little bit, and you're right. People do put a lot of the blame on the resellers as to why, like things are so covenant and why they're so expensive and whatnot. But I feel like the argument can be made that it's not so much on the resellers, but the tastemakers, right? So like, look at today, right? Who are tastemakers today? People like Travis Scott, your Instagram influencers, like those types of people, the people that you see like rocking sneakers and whatnot and shit like that. And, like with the recent resurgence of like Nike SBs and shit, right? A lot of that, or like a lot of the price, like a lot of the price fluctuations could be blamed on, or I don't want to say blame because it's not like I'm blaming the guy, but I feel like a lot of that can be attributed to Travis Scott and how, he like went through a whole phase of just only wearing Nike SBs for a while. And then like a bunch of kids are like, oh, I want to be like Cactus Jack. I'm going to buy those now,
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
Absolutely.
And, like, I feel like in that sense, it goes less on the reseller and more on the tastemakers. But, to add to that, like, I'm not going to say that resellers are completely innocent of, any blame.
Hell no. I wouldn't say that we're innocent either. I'm making a point, really.
Hell no.
But I think you guys are crooks.
Like, a lot of it goes on you guys. It's
You're really cooking these books, bro.
Right? a lot of it is unjust because all you guys are doing is just like trying to make money however you can. Like there's no shaming that. Like you're not doing anything wrong per se, right? The only instance I could see of like wrongdoing, and like this is kind of mixed, like opinion wise, is like the PlayStation thing, right? But that's just me. I have no real, say in that because I wasn't in there. But from what I understand, like a lot of people were very pissed at resellers for the PlayStation thing because they bought it all up and then sold them up for like $1,000 or whatever the fuck. I'm not saying that was right or wrong or whatever the fuck.
That's a whole different argument. And in my personal opinion, is if I'm not doing anything unfair in order to get them. Now, if you're botting the release, that's a whole different story. That's not something I agree with.
Definitely.
But if I win a raffle just like you, I have the same chances as you. I have no external factors that make it easier for me to purchase it. Or I'm not going out of my way to cheat the system, and I'm getting it in a fair way, and I decide to sell my system. I don't think, in my personal opinion, I don't see anything wrong with that. And I know that's not what you're kind of going for. And to get to Ricardo's point,
I agree.
The Ricardo's point that he was making earlier about why not just make more stock, because if it sells out, well, now people are talking about it. And look, Nike's genius. Nike is fucking genius, dude. Because now we're talking about it. Now we're talking about it right now. We're talking about Nike and about how the product sells out and how they need to make more. So then they have the next release. It sells out right away. We're talking about it. They release another shoe. Oh, wow. On to the next thing. It's a cycle. We just keep talking about it. And that's kind of our consumers' brains are brainwashed. It sells out. So it must be this like magnificent product or whatever. You know what I mean? So they've brainwashed us into thinking that, oh, well, since it sells out, I need to get it before everyone else. So it's like this compounding factor of just people trying to get shoes and then they're being limited, right? So when they consistently make it so they sell out, it builds up their brand, which creates revenue over time.
Got you. All right, Steffon, you want to add anything to this? Because you got some points,
bro.
On,
like,
on
like, to take your reseller event, bro. I know you got some shit to say, bro.
I feel like I said everything that needs to be said. Like, I don't.
No, bro. I wasn't there.
I know some fucked up shit. I was gonna say some fucked up shit. Like, whose fault was that? But I don't have a problem with resellers. I support Riley and his venture. I mean, shout out to boy. Those Dickies that I bought from you, so hard I wore them today.
Thank you.
Yeah, but like I support them. I just don't appreciate when people like people bot and people like when I'm in line too and like people people are botting. You know what I mean? Like they just get like a better chance. It's like it's not fair to like people who actually want the shoe. You know what I mean? That's my only problem with the thing. And like, but like I don't have a problem with resellers in general because like I can always get the shoe dead stock if I like could pay. And that's just another thing, bro. Like with money comes freedom. Like one day I'll have enough money to not even worry about paying resale, bro. I'll just be like, here, give me my shoe. You know what I mean? It won't be a problem. And that's the goal. Like resellers got to make money too. So you can't hate the game, bro.
Yeah. And I understand that unfairness part. Like I do sometimes, wait, what? Man said you just got to hate the did he say that backwards? And they just totally tripped me up.
I completely switched it backwards because I think that's true, bro. Like when you're talking about like resellers, not every reseller is the same. Like how you were saying before, Riley. You have a lot of these people that are in here that do not do it fair. They be paying for bots. They be doing a whole lot of extra stuff. Where those people that do want those sneakers that can't afford it at that resale price, that have been trying to get that sneaker. It's a little unfair. Now, if you're sitting there and you're like the raffles, like you said, which I think, a lot of resellers do, that's a completely other story. But like Steffon was saying, you can't really hate the game, but you have to, take into account sometimes you got to hate some of those players. You know what I'm saying? Because we got the cheat codes.
Play unfair.
Can you fully blame some of the players though? Because think about it, right?
Yes.
Yes, 100%, bro.
Yes.
Bro, what do you mean? I can't hate West Coast Joe, bro. I shouldn't hate him.
You don't even know the guy. You don't.
But I can't hate him. I can't hate him. I can't hate him.
The guy.
But I can see what he's doing.
You want. Is it
logical?
You can do what you want, but like, hold on.
All right. One person at a time.
All right. So the point I was getting to that, right, is in a game, the sneaker game, right? And like, you know, let's broaden it, right? The streetwear game, right? Where so many people play unfair per se, use bots, use devious tactics like Joe to get, you know, a foot ahead of people. Can you really blame someone for taking whatever edge they can and getting a bot? Because like Riley said, a bot is hard work. That's like, first of all, it's a large investment because some bots are fucking expensive. It's high maintenance, very high maintenance if you know anything about running a bot. And like, it's really a lot of work. Now, I'm not saying it's right per se because they are getting an unfair edge compared to like the regular consumer like me, Steffon, Ricarlo, and probably Riley, right? But, you know, can you really hate on them because they're doing what they got to do just to be able to get that? Because like you said, like we all agreed, they got to make their money too. So, all right, look at it this way, right? Thursday, Supreme Dunks are releasing, right?
Okay.
Right. The probability of any person getting that shit is.
You're still on here. The more you keep talking, the more I hate you.
It's hell unlikely. I don't use a bot. But hear me out, bro. Hear me out.
No, go ahead. I'm listening, bro.
Right? Hear me out, bro. Right. The probability of anyone getting those Supreme Dunks manually is hell unlikely. It's gonna happen for the people that get in store first and whatever the fuck. It's gonna happen. But that shit's hell unlikely.
People bought the in-store shit too, by the way, in case you didn't know.
Like he said, people bought people backdoor, bro. I met a kid once at the release. It just happened
What'd
to
you
be
say?
Asian, and he told me I met a kid once at a release. It just happened to be Asian, and he told me how he had his backdoor connects. I'm not gonna expose the dude. Pretty nice guy, actually. Anyway, bro, someone like
I met an
me,
Asian
right?
once.
Someone like me, right? Someone like me that sees that pair and I'm like, yo, I appreciate it for what it is. I like that shit. I want that shit for my feet, right? I can't get it because everyone's playing unfair, right? So if the game itself becomes unfair, is it unfair to play unfair? Because if the nature of the very game changes, is it unfair for you to just...
Bro, that's like saying two wrongs. The nature of the game didn't change. That's like saying two wrongs is a right, bro.
No,
I mean, two negatives.
That's exactly what you just
positive,
said. That's
bro.
exactly what you just said.
It's exactly what I just said, but hold on, bro. Like, you got to think about it from...
Bro, that's like saying... No. You're not going to talk to philosophy major like, I don't understand philosophy, bro. What the fuck is you talking about? I'm kidding.
Wait. All I got to say is, like, move like water.
Okay.
Hold on,
anyway, finish what you're saying. I'm not going to cut you off.
Asking Riley, bro. I know you don't get the intricacies of this advanced topic. Go on.
All right, yo. Both y'all shut up. What the fuck are you talking about?
Bro, I will literally walk over to your place and shoot you right.
All right.
What the fuck is you talking about?
Yeah, all right, bro. Let's relax. Son's about to be the first school shooter. Anyways.
For real.
Be the first brown one, right?
Hey. So,
oh my God.
Hey, you're on Nut on the Glass, bro. Welcome. You didn't expect that shit.
Shit happened.
Bro, you are fucking hilarious, dude. So my response to that would be, yo, all right, Shaq, you gotta stop, son. Like, what are you doing? Do we need one of those iron bands, bro? You know them iron like sleeves?
Bro, my arm hurts. What can I tell you, bro?
Wait, are you calling him Shaq
like Icy Hot?
Dark?
No, because of the Icy Hot commercials, you asshat.
Hey, bro, I don't. Cancel. Damn, Riley, I thought we were better than this, bro.
All right. Yo, it's just not yo, I can't stand y'all. I really can't sometimes.
Go ahead.
So, I forgot what I was saying. God damn it. Oh, yes. So to your point, like, I don't agree with that.
Motherfucker.
So look, old boy, people changed it. The game didn't change. The rules have always been you're not allowed to use those bots. There's just a lot of people who cheat. I'm gonna call it that. Using a bot is cheating. I know people that run bots. I respect certain people that run bots. I have very good friends that use bots, and I respect those people as people. I don't like, we're good friends. But using a bot is cheating. There's no other way to put it. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it, bro. I really do think it's cheating, and that's why I've never done it. So with that kind of like on that point is Nike has never. You want to know why, Ricardo? I know why you're laughing, and I tried really hard not to use that transition, bro. I tried really hard.
With that being said,
yo, complete side.
Go ahead.
That's hella funny. So basically, I can't get a shit out of my head. It makes no sense to these cats at all, but this is hella funny to us.
It's a joke. It's a joke.
So basically, you have the game. Nike doesn't like people botting. These sites have bot protection. They try to avoid people botting, and people just work around these things, right? And I compare it to baseball, right? In the 90s, bro, everyone was on steroids. That doesn't mean it was right. Everyone was just on steroids, right? It does not make it morally okay. So you can hate those players because be like, why the fuck were you using steroids? And it, like, the argument is there. It is a moral dilemma because you're like, well, fucking A-Rod was like, well, what am I supposed to do, bro? Everyone else is using steroids. I want to compete with these cats. I have to use steroids in order to compete with these guys. So what am I supposed to do? Just eat shit? Well, I see the argument. But you can take the moral high ground. Like, it's possible. That doesn't make me better than any of these people, but you can. Like, just because the situations around you is different doesn't mean you have to stoop to the level of those people around you. So you can definitely hate those people. I mean, like, hate is a strong word, but you can dislike those people for deciding to go down that path, right? And I don't hate those people. I don't, like, when it comes to that personal argument, I don't morally agree with them. But a lot of those cats are still good people. I just don't agree with them taking that stance.
Yeah. Okay.
That's very well said.
I definitely do agree with you. I definitely do agree with you. And Steffon, to go back to what you were saying, because I feel like what I said kind of went over your head, bro. I'm not trying to justify people using bots, bro. I'm not doing that. I hate that shit, right?
No, you just justified it, bro.
Bro, see,
I'm not hating on you. You just made the point, but by making the point, you therefore set yourself on that ground that you said, well, the game is unfair, therefore I must play unfair, therefore saying that you would play unfair.
No, I never said I would play unfair.
But you have
all right. Last point is not true, bro. You dragged it.
It's a joke. Rennie knows what I'm talking about.
Oh, never mind.
I know you're just fucking around, but I just want to, get my point across because I don't want it to be seen as though like I love fucking using bots. No, bro, that's not the point I'm trying to make. The point I'm trying to make is
like, you love using bots. Don't even try it. Don't even try it.
I definitely get what Riley's saying. It's not okay to use them shits. I know that, bro. There've been countless releases where I've tried to fucking cop shit on Supreme, on so many other fucking sites, and I just got dumb out of luck because people use bots. And you think that's a good feeling? No. Have I ever used a bot? No. Could I use a bot? Yes. Do I own a bot? Yes. Do I use it? No. Anyway, going on, right? Moving forward, I guess, right? Basically what I was trying to say is that, like, this is all consumerism. It's all consumerism, right? At the end of the day, we're all putting...
Oh, man's moving into the fuck capitalism argument.
No, bro, I'm not getting into
capitalism,
bro, I'm just saying communism is better, bro.
I'm not trying to get political. I have
if it works.
If it works,
I'm just fucking with you, Rennie, bro. I promise.
Hey, bro.
But
you don't like communism?
No comment. But
anyways,
what I shall say.
Besides all that,
what I shall say, right, is that if you, as an individual, right, wants to be able to cop something for themselves, for the personal, for your own feet, right, and you're thrown into a game where it becomes impossible for you to do this, right? It becomes impossible for you to do this. With the steroids thing, right, that shit is bad for everyone, right? But like with this using a bot thing, like, yeah, sure, it's cheating, but at the same time, it's like it comes down to this being, that's kind of like the only option you have as a regular consumer, just to try to get something, that or you pay stupid resale price for something that you really like. No, I get what you're saying.
What's the difference between bots and steroids?
Huh?
What's the difference between bots and steroids?
I feel like there's a couple.
They're both used to get ahead in essence, but there are differences.
Yeah, that's the point he's trying to make. I agree. Can we move on from this?
We've been on this for about 40 minutes now.
Oh, no cat, bro. Sorry.
One fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish, bro. That shit hard. That's all I gotta say.
All right, are we back?
We've been back.
Are we back?
Yeah.
Okay. in my opinion, shit like that is not progressive. It's more so pandering because, like, okay, how many years have Dr. Seuss been used for educational material for kids?
How old is? Yeah, hold on. I'll do it. Give me a second.
More than anyone here has been alive, right? And this shit isn't news. People know that these guys do these racist things. People know that it was like this, and you know, a lot of it was due to the time and the era that they were in. People could get away with certain things, right? That's not saying it's okay, but they did it because that was the era that they're in. Anyway, though, breaking off of that, it's just pandering to remove it now because this is not news. This is stuff that's been known. People knew that these guys said these things. People know that these guys thought this way. Like, none of this is new, right? And it's just trying to pander to society's perceived wants to be like, oh, they wouldn't want this guy to be in schools because he said racist shit back in the day. Thus, we're taking the moral high ground in terms of racism because we're so progressive. No, you're not progressive. You're just pandering because if you were really progressive, you would have taken that shit down way back when if you really cared. That's the thing. If you cared, it would have been down a long time ago.
Yeah, Dr. Seuss, like original books came out in like 1931. Like Green Eggs and Ham came out in like 1960, with Cat in the Hat coming out in 1957. So they've been around for a minute.
And the Cat in the Hat was a big one, right? That was like
Cat in the Hat
was like
huge. Actually. I remember watching Cat in the Hat in like the movie, the live action.
I'm talking about like that was a big one where it was actually supposed to be like about like a black person first, right?
Yes. I think so.
What? Like that was like one of the big ones. Like we're talking about like Dr. Seuss getting called out, but like it was like actually like you had to look it up.
I'm looking it up right now.
You're probably right.
Yeah,
but I think it was like based like the cat was
checker.
So like black.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh,
okay, wait, the cat was supposed to be black. Wait, what?
Like
the cat was supposed to be black.
It was supposed to be like a personification of like. It's kind of
the
like
black stereotype back then or something.
Yeah, pretty much something like that.
But like you get what I'm saying when I say like they're just trying to pander to like society's perceived wants, because like these are things that people have known that these guys do for a long time, and they're just doing it now to make it seem as though they're progressive. And like they do it with a lot of things. Like I take who's the dude that wrote It? Stephen Hawking.
Stephen King. Stephen Hawking is the physicist. Rest in peace.
My bad, guys. Rest
in peace.
Bad joke about
but anyway, though, right? Mr. King, in his original novel, there's a scene, mind you, those kids are children. They're like not even in high school, I think. There's a scene where they literally have a gangbang to kill the fucking demon or whatever the fuck.
In the book, yeah.
This is written into the book, right?
Wait, that's in the book?
Yeah, it's in the book. They have an orgy to like.
They took it out of the show. They took it out of the live.
Well, I don't know. We went to public high school. Kids was definitely having orgies at 16.
Nah, bro. They were like, but these kids in It were like 8 and 9, bro. 8, 9, and 10.
What? They were more like 13, bro. They were like 13.
No, they were young as fuck, bro. They were young.
Anyway, though, the age don't matter.
Not Georgie, bro. Not Georgie.
You're saying Georgie was getting down.
Fuck Georgie. Fuck Georgie.
Bro, that's fucking crazy.
Time out.
Wait, so people were trying to cancel him for that?
What was the one?
Like they weren't trying to cancel him for it, but like this is stuff that's known though, right? Like this stuff that people knew about, right? And if people really had a problem with it, that book would not have gone on to be a bestseller and gotten fucking so many screen adaptations. People have problems.
So what do you suggest?
Like, can't do that shit.
What do you suggest these schools do? Okay, so now that's public information. Because like I had no idea that Dr. Seuss was like this. Because personally, I didn't care enough about Dr. Seuss to look into it. It doesn't mean I don't care now, but I just didn't know that about him. Oh boy, bro, you're about to. I can't.
No, like Riley.
I just said,
Riley,
wow.
Riley.
I don't see what the problem is.
Yeah.
Riley,
so like,
what I think matters more, and like, I'm so sorry to cut you off, but like.
Go ahead.
Actually, no, you go ahead. My bad.
No, it's all good. Well, I'm pretty sure you understood the point I'm making, but I'll make it here. Like, what do you suggest that these schools do now? Like, because to some people it wasn't knowledge, it wasn't common knowledge. Like, I personally had no idea. Now, I'm sure there's hella people out there who did know, right? But now that it's super public knowledge, everyone knows. What do you suggest these places do? Okay, so maybe they are pandering. But should they not pander? Should they like just decide not to do anything about it and just be like, okay, well.
Okay. this is what I have to say, and like I don't know how it's gonna come off, but this is just me, right? I feel like what matters more are like the messages and the implications that is suggested and portrayed through whatever work of art or whatever is like the topic of discussion, right? In terms of Dr. Seuss and whatnot. So they're saying that they want to take all of his educational material out. Why, right? Because it came out that he did some shit back in the day. Okay, that makes sense, right? Like we can look at him in that perspective, and like we can look at him as being a terrible guy and whatnot, whatever. That's fine, right? But you look at like a lot of like the books and stuff that kids read and shit, and like sure, a lot of them might be weird, but I doubt whether there's that many racial implications or racial whatever in any of those fucking children's books, right? I doubt a kid is going to read this and be like, you know what, I'm going to hate on black people. There's not even any people in the books. Am I bugging, or is that
most books don't have people? Most of his books don't have people.
People. And like I feel like it's very important people learn to separate the art from the artist, because really and truthfully, like those books have become those books and his works are a major part of certain people's lives, and they have helped a lot of people through whatever the fuck. I don't know. I never read that shit, but I know a lot of people praise it and shit, right? I don't think there's a need to necessarily take it out of the school system, right? They should definitely take out stuff that, have racial implications and, promote a racial message out of these things. But, if it's just like a work of art that someone did and they just happened to be this way back then, right? I don't think it's necessarily just for them to just remove their art completely, because a lot of people that are looked up to today have done very questionable and terrible shit way back when. And I'm not going to compare him to another guy and be like, well, he did this, so you can't. No. The point I'm making is that they're all dead. This is a book. The only point that whoever is making by removing this stuff is just trying to pander to society. You're not doing anything for any racial movement by taking out a fucking Dr. Seuss book from fucking grade libraries. That's not something.
So I mean, you're right. I speak from like personal experience. So I have like, I usually see my base where we have like our bookshelves down there, and I have like from a kid, I have like a bunch of Dr. Seuss books. Like I got like a whole bunch of them, a plethora of books. And like reading them as a kid, like looking back now, like bro, I can't even like honestly, I never got anything from them besides like entertainment. Like they were very like good books, and like they were cool. And they had like they were just books, bro. And like even like if I didn't have this knowledge now, like I would have to go back. Like now that I have them, like have this knowledge about him being racist, like I'm not gonna go back and look through a fine-tooth comb, because now I'm just looking for meaning when I already have the preconceived bias. Like, but like if I would have read it like let's say like 2 years ago, if I had reread Dr. Seuss two years ago, I would have never thought like, oh, this has racist implications. Like I highly like from all the books that I've read, I really don't understand like how you could be like, this is gonna teach my kids that like to be racist. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't have anything but educational value in terms of being good for the development of kids. It's not like, I don't know, maybe I'm just gonna get canceled, but
I get what you're saying. It's like what happened with that Harry Potter artist. Like did Harry Potter author, did she not try to go back and retcon a character and like everyone hated her for that or something? Am I bugging, or is that not something that happened? I might be bugging. Well, I read Harry Potter. I used to look into that shit for me, right?
Well, basically, these titles are no longer being published. And to think that I saw it on Mulberry Street, if I ran the zoo, Miguel, I don't even know what that. I'm not even gonna try to spell that one. On Beyond Zebra, Scrambled Egg Super, The Cat's Quizzer. Apparently these are ones that are the ones that they're not going to be republishing anymore. So like like one was like the Japanese character is referred to as a Japanese has a bright yellow face. And one of them
makes sense. Like that makes sense.
I never even
the books actually have racial implications.
Right.
Take it out.
You're right about the whole Harry Potter thing. It looks to do with
because like Ricarlo, because like you gotta look at it from like a societal lens, right? Back then, a lot of shit that people used to say back then was very perceived as normal per se then than it is now, because today, like, people put more of a microscope, more of a filter on what they say and what they do. So when people look back and they're like, you know what, he probably shouldn't have said that, you know? But, you know, like, what I thought was that they were canceling all his books. But, like, if they're only taking out certain ones that can be perceived as racist based on today's standards, then that makes sense.
All I'm saying is a one fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish is not racist, bro.
Hey, they're talking about Indians in that. They were talking about Native Americans in that.
Where the fuck do you get that context from fucking fish, bro? They're fucking fish, dude. I'm actually heated as fuck now, bro. Cause like, I'm not even like mad about the book. I'm just saying, like, there's fish. Like, you gotta be like, this is a kid's book, bro. No kid's gonna read something like, they're talking about the Native Americans, the ones that used to live on this land. He's a fucking 6-year-old. His name is Tommy. He's not reading one fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish to find fucking political commentary in that bitch. Jesus Christ. I'm sorry, but it has to be said, bro. I'm gonna be back.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Like, yo.
Tommy, wait, with her political commentary. Said the land of lakes lady. He's like, first they got the land of lakes lady, second they got the freaking Redskins. Now they're gonna take my red fish one too.
I don't know if we have time here, but I'm interested, like, more just I want to see y'all discussion on this. But y'all was or Ricardo, you had mentioned like. Or actually, Rennie, you had mentioned it. You said people they're not able to separate the artist from the art anymore.
Oh, yeah, we got to talk about that. I was going to go back to that point.
Yeah. If y'all want to talk about that. I don't really have an opinion on that matter, and I'm just more interested to see what y'all have to say about it.
All right, can I go first? Can I go first?
Yeah, sure, bro. Go ahead.
I bet. So, back in the R. Kelly situation.
Oh my god!
I'm about to head out.
Wait,
if that's what you're gonna do, like.
No, go ahead.
Come on. All right. So, all seriousness. So back when the R. Kelly situation happened, you know, a few months after the Michael Jackson situation happened as well, with that documentary that released on HBO. You guys remember that? Neverland, some shit.
Bro, all right, so I don't.
Basically,
I didn't watch it, but I heard about it.
I didn't watch it, but it was everywhere.
Everybody heard about it, dude. You know,
Michael I have Jackson, no idea what the fuck you're talking about.
It was literally like Michael
Jackson with the kids.
Yeah, the kids.
Okay, well, yeah, I know that, but I don't know the documentary.
That's where everything came from.
It came from the documentary with the guy from Home Alone. Mind blown, right?
No, bro, I know that. I just missed my fucking water bottle in the garbage, bro.
All right. So, when the whole R. Kelly situation happened, you know, I have my own opinion on that, and I'm not going to speak it out here. But, you know, I was basically of the opinion of, you know, people have to learn to separate the art from the artist. And, you know, you look at a lot of artists and just in musical sense, not even going beyond like authors and TV shows and everything else. You look at all these like people that like, you know, artists that made music and how much bad stuff they did. If we judged everybody, and I think if anybody's ever seen the TV show High Fidelity, that watches this, with starring Zoe Kravitz, you already know, but
always
keep going. I'm not even going to acknowledge it. Keep going.
All right. So like I was saying,
Bella Danger, relax.
Hey, look at, there you go. So like I was saying though, when that show came out, there was a lot of talk about one specific scene that I believe happened in episode 2 or 3, where the girl tries to go buy a Michael Jackson album vinyl. And they're having this big argument about, you know, is she allowed to get this? Should we sell this anyway or whatever? And, you know, basically the end of the conversation was like, listen, if we judged everybody based off of, you know, things they judged, then we would only be left with a few artists to listen to. Phil Collins, and they named a few Christian bands and stuff like that, right? And these are like artists that have done nothing on the record ever. You know what I'm saying? And there's like artists that have sit there and killed people. I mean, you look at like hip hop and shit like that, and then there's people that have done drugs and people that have sold drugs, and then there's people that have raped kids. You know what I mean? Like there's everything. Like there's every crime has been committed by an artist.
Sorry, Riley's face just now. He was like, "Wait, what, kids?"
but basically, where I'm going with that is that there's every artist has had something bad happen to them based on whether it's bad in one person's eyes or the other. Because some don't view certain rappers that have killed people as bad, even though they went to jail for whatever they got out, or there was accusations of a sort. But they'll view something like that. Like it's just very different. Circumstances for every artist. It's depending on who the artist is, right? So what I'm trying to say is this, I think people as a culture, now just beyond music, going back to the Dr. Seuss thing that Rennie was talking about, I think that we as a society should be able to separate these art from the artist due to timing, due to the time, like how you said, Rennie. The Dr. Seuss was this in a whole time period where this was acceptable. There was no there was no reason for him not to put these certain things in books and not have influence from others probably to put the certain things in the said books. And it's the same thing when you go to listen to music. There's certain things and songs from back in the day, like everybody listens to Elvis, but Elvis sold rock and roll. You know what I'm saying? Didn't give credit to half the songs that he stole from. You know what I'm saying? Like it's that kind of thing. I'm interested in hearing you guys' opinion on that though.
Yeah, no, definitely. I definitely do agree with you on stuff like that because, like it's different for you to hold artists accountable for the things that they did as an individual, but you can't hold their art, their music, their creation or whatever. You can't hold that stuff accountable for what they did because those are their independent creations. Mind you, they did make the stuff, right? But not because Billy Joel, oh wait, no, that's a real person. Not because Michael Sampson killed 15 people means that his song about
that's my cousin.
running in the rain is about killing people. You know what I mean? Like it's very important to differentiate between those things because, like you said, if we look at everyone under a microscope based on what they have done, and then look at their art under the same lens, like we're not going to have that much art to perceive because a lot of people today that people look up to and love and appreciate for their contribution to society, whether it be through art or whatever the fuck, have done some pretty terrible shit. People love H.P. Lovecraft and his fucking creation of like monsters and mythos and that shit. And
he was racist and he had it in his books.
Yeah, it was in his books. He literally has a cat. He literally has a cat called, I'm not going to repeat the name, but like you can Google it. You can Google that shit if you want to.
You know what? I think we should all just listen to Christian rock and call it a day.
Get the fuck out of here.
But yo, like, hold on. To that end, right? You should hold these people accountable. Like, oh, he said that. Whoa, hold on, time out. Or she did this. Whoa, hold on, time out. Like, with R. Kelly, he did his thing and now he's in prison for that shit, right? I never listened to R. Kelly music before. I'm not going to start listening to it now.
Is he in prison though? Is he?
Yeah, he's in prison, bro.
Right? It's right, like, yeah, right? But like, if someone listens to R. Kelly music and like that helped them through whatever the fuck, then if they want to listen to it, they can listen to it. I'm not going to look at them.
Oh, I got it.
Person. It's like with Kanye, right? Like, Kanye kind of went crazy this last year and everything. And a lot of people started to look at him differently. Like, yo, I don't fuck with Kanye. And like, you can not fuck with Kanye, that's fine. But like, you can't deny the fact that Kanye has made some amazing music and has done, made some relatively good clothing into that, whether it be through shoes or whatever. Riley's face.
Y'all heard that?
Shoes or whatever, right? And
I was making a face of what y'all said. Sorry.
And like,
yo, Riley's just gonna get murdered.
Kanye being bro, shouldn't stop you from going to buy fucking, I don't know, Yeezys or whatever. Because, yeah, sure, he's done a lot of crazy shit, but if you like something, then you can do it. Because you being like, oh, I'm not going to support this guy by listening to his music, like first of all, you're not really supporting him in any way because he's already reaped all the benefits. I'm not taking my Yeezys out. He's already reaped all the benefits from that. And you buying a shoe from a reseller is not putting any money in Kanye's pocket or anyone's pocket. So,
well, to play devil's advocate here, just to ask you a question. Just to ask you a question. So like when people decide, I'm trying to say, like, we brought up a lot of dead people, right? Like reading a Dr. Seuss book right now or buying his book is not supporting Dr. Seuss because he's dead, right?
He's gone.
He's been dead. But like, okay, but the Kanye thing, right? I feel if you listen to his music, you are actively supporting him. He gets money from that. Or you buy his Yeezys for retail, you are supporting him. That money does go in his pocket. So does that make it a little different? Does that make it a little different?
I don't really.
I was gonna say that. I was gonna say it does make a difference.
I mean, like, all right.
Wait.
I definitely do get what you're saying. Huh?
Rennie, you go, and then Steffon will go after you. All right, that's fine. Because that order.
I definitely do get what you're saying, and I see where you're coming from in the sense, because like you're listening to someone's, like if you listen to a Kanye song, you're like giving him streams, and you're gonna, give to that, and that's one thing, right? But like, it's really weird because I don't agree with a lot of the stuff that Kanye has done and said, and Kanye and a whole bunch of other fucking people, right? But I love a lot of his music, and I appreciate a lot of his art, whether it be through fashion, clothing, whatever the fuck, any outlet, right? Any medium that he does shit in. This goes for a lot of people too. Not because I don't necessarily agree with him means that I'm going to stop, indulging in his art or his creation, because I love these things. I really appreciate them, and I indulged in them at one point, lucratively, right? Me looking at it now as being like, oh, fuck you, that's terrible. That doesn't change the fact that at one point I was very much so deeply integrated in this culture, or like whatever the fuck, right? Now, going back to what you said, there is an argument to make, like, oh, but you're still supporting him. And I feel like that's where you kind of get to like a barrier, because it's like, you don't necessarily want to be supporting the person based on the actions that they've done, but you still want to indulge in the art and stuff. And that's where it becomes different from a dead
illegally download that shit and buy fake Yeezys.
Well, that's an option. I don't. But
then you're just furthering his image, anyways.
I feel like buying fake speaks to a deeper, fucking self issue in yourself with confidence and shit. But people could go off of that. I feel like buying fakes is like the definition of consumerism. You're just like a consumer.
All right. I don't want to veer off topic. I don't want to veer off topic.
Rennie already
touched on what you were gonna say.
Rennie already touched it. It's fine.
All right. I was just gonna say. All right. I was just gonna say this. I was gonna say. I do definitely agree with Rennie. For me, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna listen to Kanye's music. I've already bought Kanye's music, so it's a little too late for that. And then on the other side of that, it's the same thing. Like I bought Yeezys, what I mean. But it's like, for me, that doesn't matter. Now, if you're talking about, if you want to go into this conversation further, where the conversation, gets a little touchy for some people, is they may agree with me, and then when it turns into businesses, it may be different. Like Goya, for example, when Goya got canceled, a lot of people. But remember, listen, I'm just, I'm bringing it up, and the same thing with Chick-fil-A. People are like, oh, don't support that and don't buy that. I've talked to Riley about that. I've talked to Rennie about this in depth. But I do want to hear your guys' opinion. How does it go for companies, whose products you guys like? Go ahead.
I was just going to say, bro, with companies, I feel like it's kind of cut and dry, like where you should stand on stuff, because the thing is, the main objective of any company, any corporation, any business is just to make money. And they will do that to the best of their ability in any way that they see fit, in any way that they want to, right? Whether that comes from making a statement, a political statement, being like, oh, we support this, we support that. They don't give a fuck. They just want more money. Look at Starbucks, for example. Last year, during the whole Black Lives Matter thing, right? There was an incident where a Starbucks employee was wearing a Black Lives Matter hat or t-shirt, some garment, and they were instructed to take it off because they couldn't have it on them, like while they worked at that time. And that happened to a couple other people, like a couple other establishments, right? And then after a while, this just started to get some social media traction, and people were like, yo, Starbucks is against Black Lives Matter. And then they started losing a lot of business, and then guess what happened? They came out and they said, actually, we love Black people and we fully support Black lives. No, they don't give a shit. They don't care.
They were just trying to save face.
That's all they want.
I'm sorry,
that's
yo,
all they want.
Man said, actually, we love Black people.
But like, no, it's definitely
true. Like, bro, like people tend to have a perception that, like, you know, their favorite company cares about them as a consumer or
they care about their money,
and they want to do the right thing. No, they want to do what can get them the most money, right? And you know, there's nothing wrong with that because that's just the world that we live in, right? That's just how they are. What's wrong is for you to believe that there's any other motivator besides just getting money out of your pocket, right? Now, I feel like there's something to be said about companies that are very true to what they believe in, right? And they stick to it no matter what, because they're going off of, because in that sense, they're going against what society wants and they're just being themselves. And I feel like that's admirable. It might not be something that I agree with, right? Per se, like, I don't know, like some company doing some shit. I can't pick up an example off the top of my head, but I know that there's some instances of this happening. And, you know, that's something that I can look at. That's something that I can look at and I can be like, you know what, at least that company's not fake. They're not pandering to me as a consumer because they want me to buy their product by saving face and being like, oh, I love this, I love that, I love Syria, shit like that, you know?
Like, I respect that. I almost respect that more. And I want to hear Riley, because Riley was going to talk, you know, speak at the same time Rennie is. But I'm going to just say that I kind of almost respect like a Chick-fil-A, for example, or a Goya more for not pandering and sticking to what they're doing. Not saying I agree with them.
I agree with it, right? Like, I don't condone a lot of it, but they're
you know, at least they're not changing. You know, at least they're not code switching. At least they're not like changing up. Riley, go.
I was really conflicted on this for like a while because it was.
I saw you eating Chick-fil-A the other day, bro.
Yeah, that was the bottom of it, bro. That was the bottom of it. I remember, and I was talking to fucking Ricarlo.
You buying that shit like, God damn.
I was talking to Ricarlo, and I was like, yo, is it that bad to buy Chick-fil-A? Because I really like Chick-fil-A. Like, Chick-fil-A hit. Like, that shit slap. I'm like, is it really bad? Like, is it really that fucked up to support their business? Like, I was really having this more dilemma in my head. And then Ricardo said something that really resonated with me. Because I'm like, I don't support their views. But he was like, yo, all these companies doing fucked up shit. And I was like, what are you talking? I was like, and I started thinking about it, and I was like, he's right. Like, you gotta think about it. All the products we buy, almost every single product we buy, except for Keep It Classic products, shameless plugs. No, I'm fucking with you. But like most of the products we buy are like you're getting them in a fucked up way, or they're being made in a fucked up way, or like child labor is being used to make all our iPhones, all our TVs. Exactly. Child labor. I mean, you got these cobalt
in this shit is literally mined by slaves.
It's like
African slaves.
There's like all types of bullshit going on in order to get most of our products, and there is some businesses that are really better, and that's why I like to prefer to support smaller businesses, right? And that's not even me trying to plug myself. Like, a lot of these smaller businesses are a little bit more morally straight on because
they don't have the means to do a lot of these big corporations do.
They don't have a lot of means to do that shit, and when you're trying to do the right thing, it's hard to grow your business. I'm gonna be honest. Like, when you're trying to like keep like, you have to balance. It becomes a balance between, okay, I want to make money, but I also want to do morally the right thing. And honestly, bro, once you hit a certain plateau, I have not gone anywhere near this, right? But once you start making millions of dollars, you're gonna hit a point where like you almost have to do shady shit in order to get, just like the sneaker game. You almost have to do something shady in order to make a lot of money. And that can be like, I don't think there's probably very, very few billionaires out there that can say they got their billions without fucking somebody along the way. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm trying to think of the only way that you could probably make billions of dollars without fucking someone. It's probably the stock market, right? If you just made all of your money from the stock market, you put $10 into the stock market and you grew it to $1 billion. It's probably like one of the only ways to make that money without fucking somebody over along the way.
No, I agree. I agree with you, dude. I definitely agree with you because
it means your point.
Yeah, I know, because that was my point. But on the other side of it too, you look at like Nike, for example. We just spent a whole time talking about Nike, yet they use sweatshops that in China to make their shoes. You know what I'm saying? But like. Meanwhile, what I see is a lot of these fake woke people, right? Or like a lot of these, really liberal people. And, granted, they be doing their work. You know what I'm saying? They try to make America a better place. But, they be calling out places like, Chick-fil-A,
yes.
Goya or whatever. They be calling out places like Chick-fil-A or Goya or whatever. And you're good. Goya or whatever. And, they be sitting there and doing whatever. You know what I mean? Like they'll say hey, listen, don't support this company because it supports Trump or because it supports Republicans or whatever. Meanwhile, they're using an iPhone that's been mined by African slaves. They're wearing Nikes that's been made and that's
like there's a difference between like a political view is different from a moral high ground, because like you can say like Chick-fil-A or like with Starbucks specifically.
I gotta head out, y'all. It was a pleasure.
All right,
it was a pleasure.
All right, Riley, thank you so much.
Love you.
Appreciate y'all for real.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you for stopping in.
But there's a difference between like with Starbucks, when they said they don't want the employee to wear that, it's because they're trying to save face with those conservatives or those racists, so they can still make money off of them. You see what I'm saying? But then when they got hate and they realized their business was going down, they said, wait, let's fix this. And so now, like, we support this because it's a saving face thing. It's not like they made a political statement or they tried to play a moral high ground. They just want to make money at the end of the day. But there's a difference between supporting that and supporting a business who literally makes their living by piling bodies on top of bodies, like with like the slaves. With Walmart, Walmart is a really bad company to support. But I know I go to Walmart like once every week. And there's nothing, like, it's just there. But Walmart literally doesn't even pay most of their employees, like, they don't even let them work full time, so they don't get benefits, they don't get any of that shit, and then they intimidate them so they don't unionize. And Walmart does a bunch of shady shit that we don't know
about. There's a lot of shit that Walmart
we can get our
does.
water.
We watched that
so we can get so we can get our water.
I don't know what the hell you guys are talking about. So.
Walmart just says Walmart fucks its employees.
No, Walmart.
And that's Walmart.
I don't know if they do it today, but like me and Steffon watched a documentary in econ class, and Walmart did a lot of shady shit. They had cameras in the break rooms. They hate unions. They would fire you if there was a hint of you talking about unionizing.
Yeah, bro. They just fuck their employees so we can get our products for like 3 cases of water for $9, bro. And like, I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm about to go out and buy 3 cases of water for $9 today. Fuck is you talking about? I need my water. But like, should I be supporting that? No, at a moral high ground. But what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to work around the game? And like, I'm a college student trying to make ends meet, bro. You know what I mean? Like there's people out there who gotta work. Exactly. I gotta value my dollar. Every dime that I spend is a dime out of my pocket. You know what I mean? And so
this is where there's a caveat, right? Because you want to do the right thing. Obviously, we all want to do the right thing, right? But sometimes doing the right thing is not as black and white as we might perceive it to be as. So that's why me personally, like you said, a lot of people go, like there's a lot of people that call out corporations and businesses and stuff, and to me that doesn't really do any good. Besides that, it forces them to just make a statement just so that they can make more money, right? Like, sure, sometimes those things, calling companies out have resulted in some substantial change within the corporation, but things like that are kind of rare, right? And so me personally, what I do and what I would suggest, for people to do if they actually want to go out and do the right thing is every now and again, they go out and they support the little guy, the small companies, fucking, like Riley said before, like, these small businesses that they don't have the means and they don't do a lot of these shady stuff because really and truthfully, you can't get around it. It's everywhere and it's within every company, even the ones that seem the most squeaky clean. There's something that we don't know about, right? And this is why, you can't just go out and say, oh, they did this, so I can't support them, because you have to apply the same. If you're going to be that way, you have to apply the same logic to everything.
Across the playing field. And
across the board.
Yeah, and I think this like goes back, like you can't.
That's impossible.
Like one person's you can't go out and be like, I don't want to support that business because they did that and that business. You can't just take away all these businesses because you're gonna end up not living. Like you're gonna just be surviving. Exactly. I mean, so I think like this is what I was telling you about. Like do one thing, bro. You know how people out here like I don't support Chick-fil-A. Do one thing. You know what I mean? Like there's one thing that you can do that will help something. You know what I mean? It'll change something, even if it's the slightest. Because at least you're doing something. Like with the fast fashion shit and how they have like things like that. Like now I'm trying to like go more thrifting and do secondhand clothing. That's something I can do and something I enjoy. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I'm not gonna go out and save the world by like thrifting, and I'm not gonna be able to go out and I'm not gonna be able to. Doing good. I'm doing some good, and I'm not gonna go out and save the world. I'm giving up every fucking commodity, every fucking thing that's bad. Like, but I feel like at least do one thing. You can have that one thing that makes it, because like what do you like I feel like people try and do too much, especially with like activism. They're like, I support this movement and this movement and this movement and this movement, and I don't support any of these businesses. But what do you gain at the end of the day now? Like, unless you're rich and you have that liberty to just throw away money like that, you can't realistically just say I don't support any of these businesses and I support all these movements. You can't do that. It's not realistic in this time of day. But you can do one thing, and that's all. You could be a proponent for change by just doing one thing every day, bro.
Yo, facts. And I think once people realize that you can't really fix the world by just canceling these things that you may not agree with, and that's just not right. Like at the end of the day, like I feel like I see a lot of kids that are our age, like young adults, whatever you want to call them. Like they support communism, they support socialism or whatever. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't understand that at all. But when they're putting their mouths where they're putting their like their mouth to it though, because like they'll sit here and if they don't agree with the point, they'll try to cancel that, which is a little, that's a little bit like communism, just saying, you know what I mean? But that's a whole nother conversation. But other than that, guys, I got nothing to talk about. If you guys want to end it here, wrap it up.
I got one thing to say about the whole like canceling shit. Like canceling is kind of like childish, because canceling is just like an opinion, bro. Like you're just canceling an opinion. Bro, when you cancel an opinion, you're literally just saying that if people don't assimilate the way I think, then they're wrong. And that's literally communism, bro. That's like saying like this person, bro, you're literally becoming like the second, like not as like nowhere near as bad as Hitler, but if you're saying like, oh, blonde eyes, blue hair, that's the race. That's what I fuck with. Everybody else gone. Oh, I like that person over there, he's a conservative. Oh, well, it doesn't matter if he's a good person or not. He's gone. You know what I mean? Oh, this person over here, he has an iPhone. They support slaves. He's gone. You're just canceling shit that you don't like, and at that point, you're just removing the ability to have an opinion in the world, which differentiates everybody from people. Like when you take away the ability for somebody to think and have their own opinions, ideas, you're taking away the autonomy from civilization, because then nobody has the freedom to be themselves, and we are who we are, and the identity of oneself is not determined by any one thing. It's a combination of things. And I just feel like it's so stupid to be here and be like, he said this shit like 7 years ago, let's cancel him, now let's ruin his life. Because like he's not defined by his actions in those one moments if he has changed. But by saying something like that, by canceling somebody, you're doing more harm than good for the environment and for the society, for civilization. I mean, that's
I agree.
My 2 cents.
I agree. Ren, you got anything?
Definitely. I definitely agree with you, Steffon. But just to add on a little bit to what you said, like, like it's definitely not okay to just up and try to cancel someone because something that they said back in the day. But if something that they did warrants, some accountability, like with the R. Kelly shit, like Bill Cosby and whatnot, then I feel like those are instances where it's justified, right? But like, we could 100%. Go back on the Twitter days, right? Because Twitter was very unfiltered back in the day. You used to say a lot of fucking shit on Twitter, and every now and again, shit comes up and people are looking at people differently, like, yo, what the fuck? But they fail to take the like how the platform was back in the day and how very unfiltered it was, because back in the day people could say whatever the fuck they wanted on Twitter and just
I thought that was a cool thing about Twitter.
Yeah. This was before my time. Like this was back when I was younger. I didn't even know about Twitter, but this was around the time, Tyler the Creator, a lot of people were going out and they were saying a lot of out of pocket fucking shit. Right. And like that was just them. Like that was just the times that they were in. It's like with Dr. Seuss and him saying that shit. That's just the time he was in. right? For all we know, the guy wasn't even racist. Like, he was just saying what the fuck was going on. I don't know if he's racist. I didn't know about this story. He might be racist. I have no fucking clue. I'm not gonna comment on that. But
honestly, we didn't even do much research. We just talked about
art.
We talked about a headline.
Bro, art is just a representation. Art in most cases, or almost all cases, a representation of reality, the society that you live in, bro. It's a reflection of reality. That's it, man. We've been talking for like an hour and a half.
Yo, Steffon, just to close it off real quick, I just want to bring up some shit because it fit into the whole like the Dr. Seuss shit and canceling stuff that I learned about today that I found interesting, right? Like, this isn't gonna resonate too much with you, Ricarlo, because I know you don't watch anime, but some of it, like, you might be able to get like the contextual shit, right? So,
okay.
Steffon, you know Attack on Titan, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I know Attack on Titan.
Bro, so I was watching some shit, right? And apparently a lot of people were trying to cancel it, and someone wrote an article about how Attack on Titan is very anti-Semitic because the parallels between Jews and the fucking Eldians and shit like that.
Oh my god.
I found it interesting, so I watched a video of an actual Jewish guy, like reacting to the stuff. He's commenting on it, and mind you, it's just one guy. He's not speaking for like the entire, religion or the ethnicity, but like, he's making his points, and he's saying that parallels aren't the same as presentation, right? The parallels between Jews and the Eldians, or this and that and this and that, don't go to speak for that the art as a whole as being something bad. They're just parallels to push a narrative. And that's what art is. That's what art is. That's what screenplays are. That's what TV is. That's what you see.
That's facts.
It's just use of history and use of context to create a narrative.
Yeah, so he's not pushing the agenda.
Exactly.
This has got to cut out, but Tiago's leaving in 10 minutes, so.
I bet, bro.
All right,
I bet. Let's wrap it up right here. Yeah, thank you everybody for watching. The last few videos have done great. We've been doing good numbers. I really appreciate it. Make sure, I know you guys like the clips a lot. I've been seeing all the numbers with the clips. The clips do freaking fantastic, and I love it. But full episodes, make sure you like those full episodes. You watch the full episodes, because again, there's a lot of shit that we do not put in the clips that we usually put in here. So watch the full episodes, and thank you so much. I've been Ricarlo. He's been Steffon. He's been Rennie, and we'll catch you guys later.
Yes, sir. Peace.
Thank you all for tuning in to another week.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Appreciate all the love and support always. This show is completely independently made, independently everything really. It's just three idiots making a show. So any love is appreciated, 1000%. Make sure you guys tune in for next episode. Also, follow all the socials. Links are below. Like, share, subscribe, all that YouTube algorithm bullshit. And yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching.